Anyway, let me get to some of my callers that really want to talk to you. We have a number of people on the line, California, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. Mona in California, you're on the Investigative Journal.
Hi, Greg. This is Mona, the grandchild and child of 3 32-degree Masons.
Okay.
And I object to the war, and I object to our controlled media and the hate speech laws.
Okay.
But I see these problems as coming from the house of Rothschild, not from Freemasonry. In fact, because Freemasonry is actually the white Anglo-Saxon power structure, I see all of these attacks on Freemasonry as communist-inspired.
Okay.
My question to your guest is, you criticize the Freemasons for elevating intellect to such a high level. And I wanted to point out that the reason the Masons did that is because they were protesting against the papacy that burned you at the stake if you didn't worship a God who tortured his own son to death to satisfy his need to punish sinners. Now, why would you not agree that intellect should be elevated above such superstition? And another question is, do you believe that there's no evolution, and do you not believe in a population explosion?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Number one, your name is just a scrambled Ammon, so I know you're the daughter of Masonry. And what's also interesting is you say that people are being given intellect. They're not being given intellect at all. The school system is not turning out intellectual people. They're turning out zombies at the moment, and it's run by Masonry at the top.
I agree, but I don't think it's run by Masonry, although it is in a sense, because I think that Masonry has been twisted by communism, which says that everyone should be equal. We shouldn't give different education to gifted children that we give.
Yeah. Well, if you read Trotsky, his own book, it's called My Life. He tells you that he joined Masonry and that all the top communists were Freemasons.
Yes, and I agree with you that the Jews did infiltrate Masonry, which tried very hard to keep them out.
Not at all, not at all. Because Masonry is an international brotherhood that takes everybody in. Hirohito of Japan, you'll find in Freemasonic books, was initiated into the Knights of the Garter by British royalty before World War II.
I'm not saying they didn't make exceptions, but Freemasonry is a Protestant organization.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it is not.
Okay, what is it then? Go ahead.
They give a branch to everybody. Even the Chinese have a branch of it. And they all have the top head. They're all controlled by the capstone. That's what the capstone stands for. If you're on one side of the pyramid, you can't see the other three sides.
So you're saying there's American Freemasonry, Protestant Freemasonry, there's a
Catholic one, yeah.
Catholic one, a Hindu, I mean, as we go along.
Yeah.
And you find these guys, if you trace it, you can find that there are Freemasons in all.
John Dewey, all these boys were Freemasons. They gave you the educational system. Yeah.
Mona?
Yes, but, well, first of all, there aren't three sides to a pyramid, there are four.
There's actually more. Yeah.
And,
I'm lost there. What do you guys mean?
Well, he said that there were three sides to a pyramid, but a pyramid...
No, I said if you're standing on one side, you don't see the other three.
Oh, yeah, right.
There's also another one below it, the base.
Okay, now, what I'm saying is that it was clear in my upbringing that the Masons did not allow Catholics or Jews in because they didn't want to be they did not want to be infiltrated with superstitious nonsense. They certainly did put intellect above everything else. Although they had a great affection for the ancient Egyptian traditions because, as you may not know, ancient Egypt that built the first pyramid was built by Anglo-Saxons. And
well, I think you've swallowed an awful lot of the nonsense that comes with this, really. You really have. This is all later propaganda that was put out in the last 100-odd years.
And so have the Jews and the blacks and the Catholics.
And the Polish people, too.
Only been allowed in Masonry in the last 50 years since the Second World War, when all of the racial barriers were torn down.
It's not true. The Rothschilds were allowed into the the English one, when they took over the Bank of England.
Exactly, and that is where I think our problems began. As I think I said, I think our problems come from the House of Rothschild, not the rich white guys who simply formed a group response to the king's oppression to say, hey, we are going to gather together as masons, stonemasons, builders of houses and walls, and we're going to decide for ourselves. It was the first union that was ever formed.
The ancient Egypt was a socialist-run system.
I'm not talking about ancient Egypt.
And the stonemasons there were all paid by the top guy. The state paid them their wages.
I'm talking about Freemasonry, which started in England, and as the first union standing up against the king, who was running a feudal system. And they said, we're going to decide for ourselves what our standards are, and we're going to be so good that you're going to have to pay us, and we don't
This is the propaganda you've read since then. They came in the 1500s. They were preaching the same stuff then into Rosicrucian. The Rosicrucian movement gave you the Blue Lodge.
I don't know what the Blue Lodge is. I do know that Rosicrucians believe that if you go into a meditative state, you can communicate with spirits. And I don't see anything intrinsically evil about that.
Well, that's fine. You see, you're allowed to believe the propaganda that's given on a lower level. And what you've told me so far is a lower level propaganda.
Yes, and you have to prove that my propaganda is false.
Well, let's just start. If I could just break in here, let me just ask both of you a question, okay? And I'm going to ask myself the question. Greg, do you want to stop the New World Order? Yes, I don't think I'd like to see a one-world government. I don't think I'd like to see a one-world religion, and I don't think I'd like to see my free will and free thought taken away. Now, let's go with my guest. Well, Alan, what do you feel about that question?
That's correct, and that's why you can't have people who join organizations and swear oaths to keep secrets from everyone else and then put them into officialdom over the top of you.
Now, Mona, I'm going to ask you the same question. Do you believe, do you want to stop the New World Order? Do you believe in free will and free thought?
Yes, but I do not think that precludes people from joining clubs and having secrets.
Okay. Okay, well,
There's your problem.
Because we could go on for a while.
That's your problem right there, yeah.
Okay. Mona, thank you so much. You can call anytime. Let's move on.